Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're back with another sneak peek. And I stayed on this pre-event quest splash page because the new character has some ties to our friend Scott Summers, aka Cyclops. It's not his brother Havoc, but it's a woman, and it's not Jean Grey or anyone like that, or even Madeline. It is Emma Frost, the White Queen. Now we only got, again, a 5 or 6 second clip. Again, there's no sound, and I have to say, without sounding like too much of a nitpick, the graphics are pretty poor. It looks like one of those point and click adventure games that you find for free on a web browser or on Steam, and it's really not up to par with what we've come to expect. I know a lot of the splash pages and a lot of the teasers in the past have just been pictures, but even the pictures have had better animations and better artwork and art design and colors and all that than these two sneak peeks. Both of them have been alarmingly poor quality, and I don't know if it's because they're going in a new art direction. I don't know if it's because they don't have enough people to do it, or their usual art guy is busy. I'm not really sure, but it's not good. I don't really like it, and I kind of want to know why. I don't think we're ever going to get an answer, but I just wanted to put it out there for you guys that in case you're a little bit uncomfortable with the quality of the images, know that you're not alone. I definitely think that it's quite odd how they're doing the sneak peeks in such low kind of basement bargain prices. I mean, I think I could do some of these animations, frankly. But anyways, we do see a woman's hands, very nicely manicured. Then we see these awkwardly sliding doors. We see the jewels, which we know that Emma Frost is so fond of wearing. She likes to bling it out. And then we see her hands turn to diamond, and that is pretty much unequivocally Emma Frost. So we're definitely getting her. A bit of speculation going on in the community right now about what type she's going to be. Frankly, as a telepath, I anticipate that she's going to be blast type. Everyone was anticipating that Jean Grey would be universal. We were obviously wrong about that. I don't think she's going to be speed. Some people are saying she should be combat because of her diamond form. If you're not familiar with Emma Frost, I'll give you a really quick rundown. I'm not super familiar with the character, but from what I know, she basically has two forms. When she looks all nice and pretty and normal, she's a massive Omega level telepath. So we're talking as powerful as Jean Grey, as powerful as Professor X. Maybe not exactly as powerful, but she's extremely strong. Mind control, all this stuff, memory wiping, etc. When she gets kind of extreme physical duress, something falls on her, whatever, she turns into this, or she can basically do it herself, this diamond form. Her whole body becomes like diamonds, and according to the character's origins, this was done to replace the then gone Colossus from the X-Men. So in that sense, you can pretty easily compare that diamond form of Emma Frost to Colossus. Basically, you cannot harm her with traditional physical attacks. She's going to be immune of some kind, and she has incredible durability, like a diamond, you know, and she obviously hits hard, so she's got that physical aspect. So that has led some people to believe that she's going to be a combat type. I could definitely see combat, I could definitely see blast, but I think those are the only possible types. I'm still leaning towards blast because we have some pretty non-blast type blast types, like Whiplash is one that comes to mind. I mean, if you think about it, Sharon Rogers could have very easily been a combat character, especially without her uniform. There's really not much that makes her blast type at all. She's extremely physical, and yet she deals energy damage, and she's a blast type. Mantis as well is extremely physical. She's a very capable hand-to-hand combatant, also a blast type. Caecilius moves around a bunch of rocks and slices you with his weapons, also physical, also a blast type, and the list goes on. So I really think that the blast class is probably the catch-all for these kind of in-betweeners that don't deserve to be, I mean, even Ulysses Claw, but anyways, that don't deserve to be universal types. So I think that's where she's going to land, because as we know, they don't want to give us universal X-Men. So that's just kind of what it is. Aside from her typing, there's a little bit more that we want to investigate. She's definitely going to have powers both telepathically and in the diamond form, so it's going to be interesting to see how they play that out. It's also going to be interesting to see how Netmarble addresses her faction, whether she's a superhero or a supervillain, because she's very well known for being a villain, part of the Hellfire Club with Sebastian Shaw and all those guys, but she's also taken the role of double agent and superhero for the X-Men, training and teaching at Xavier's school and having a lot of adventures on the side of the good guys. And that brings me to what I had mentioned at the beginning of the video with my boy Scott Summers, obviously my favorite X-Men. She had a pretty interesting, kind of long-running relationship with Cyclops, from what I understand. Some of it was mental, so they were kind of telepathically, like she was telepathically, because Cyclops is not really a telepath, you know, being physical with each other or having a sexual relationship without actually touching each other. Go figure. And this leads into the tie-in that he is on the splash page for her, and how you can collect his bios and the bios of another character. But then we have the kind of triangle, because we have Archangel from the original teaser, now we have Cyclops, and then now we have Emma Frost. How do these three characters tie in together? Well, I did some digging, and I recalled an old run of comics, maybe like 10 years ago, roughly, that I didn't read all of it, but I read some of it, and it was called Divided We Stand. And in that, we have Emma and Cyclops as a couple, kind of the power couple, boyfriend and girlfriend, and they get a call from none other than Archangel, and he needs some help with something, and they end up in this huge fight. Wolverine gets involved, and then here are the other characters that get involved that I could speculate and see coming to this update if they're trying to do kind of a mishmash of Divided We Stand. It's still unclear, but potentially we could be getting Iceman, Colossus, Nightcrawler. Those would be the three megastars for the good guys, because those three are with Wolverine and also Archangel, and you know, against the bad guys. On the bad guys side, we would have Omega Red. We also have some less notable good guys, Warpath and Hepzibah, but I don't really see either of them being brought into the game. Potentially Warpath, but I doubt Hepzibah. But with that being said, those are the predictions that I have. I'm still really hoping and crossing my fingers for Iceman. We know that Nightcrawler is a huge fan favorite, and so is Colossus. So if they're really trying to hit it out of the park with this one, they could be doing a 5-hero plus a shifter action kind of special mission. I've seen that floated around a lot on the Reddit, and people seem to really like that. In the Divided We Stand storyline, they go to the Savage Land, so that could be the new game mode coming out if they really want to make it centric to the comic storyline that they're pulling it from. I do bring up the game mode thing because it basically has to be said whenever I'm talking about new updates from now on. Just getting characters is not gonna cut it anymore. It's just not enough, and the game is gonna feel fresh for about a week. That's basically the shelf life that new characters have without any content changes. It's about 1 week. You get them, you play with them, you have fun, and then you just stop. Of course, for those players who don't have materials, who are new to the game, who don't have resources, it takes them a lot longer than a week to get the characters. That week period that I'm talking about is how long from when you get the character basically maxed out, you know, tier 2, to when you get bored of using them. There's a very short window these days, given that the content is very repetitive in a way that's unfriendly, and especially with Netmarble repeating skills for different characters, there's even less uniqueness and kind of freshness that these characters bring. The last time we got this many X-Men, the last time there was this much hype around the X-Men, because let's be honest, although Scarlet Witch was amazing and Cable was great, Quicksilver and Apocalypse were kind of like, nah. So really the last major and most epic X-Men update was, of course, the original X-Men update, where we got the most favorited characters. We did get the epic quest, a lot of new content, multiple new missions, multiple ways to farm for resources, the whole shebang. This is kind of where we're going towards if Netmarble is going to bring in any more heavy hitters. I think this update right now is on the cusp of being an important milestone. We've got two pretty popular characters. I think Emma Frost is probably higher on the popularity scale than Archangel, but they're two pretty important characters. If we get one more, if we get the Bobby, if we get the Nightcrawler, if we get the Colossus, or someone similar, or even someone like Juggernaut, although he's not a mutant, we're poised to see a huge influx of new players and a lot of renewed excitement for the game. But it has to come with some kind of change, some kind of reboot, or some kind of new game mode. It cannot be content-less. This status board needs to change somehow, and that's why I keep going back to it. So let me know what you guys think of my prediction for Emma Frost with her skills, with her typing, and the potential for either a villain or a superhero. Also, comment below on whether you think that Divided We Stand was a good pick for the connection between Archangel and Emma Frost, or if you have another connection you want to develop. I'm not too familiar with the Hellfire Club, so you maybe want to dive into that. Let me know. I'll be reading all the comments as usual. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.